Welcome back, Mr. Sowe.
Thank you, Lead Mr. Sowe. Lead Counsel.
Before the first break, we were talking about the torture of Ibrahim Barrow. And then the last question I posed, the talk through machine, machine bido force nit ñi pour ñu wax dëgg.
That's the
So tell us about the existence of this machine and what you know about it.
Legi wax ñu ci lu dem ci walu machine bi ni nu mo doxé.
Thank you, Mr. Lead Counsel.
Jerejef Lead Counsel.
Probably before I list, if you will permit me, I just want to set for the records of yesterday regarding two matters for the historical records to be rightly written. Regarding the Bonto case, I remember Lead Counsel mentioning it.
And
I think the year around which we discussed it was 2009.
2009.
But research overnight has shown that it was 2010 June.
2010 June.
Similarly, in the case of General Bubu, his presence in the Gambia at the time was aimed at helping the peace process. In Bissau, as his presence then was deemed to be, for that period, be unhelpful to peace. So he was in the Gambia for that purpose, to give peace a chance in Bissau. So it wasn't by what I came to know. It wasn't that he was given asylum. In fact, when Bubu was leaving this country, he left unannounced. He more or less left and returned to Bissau. Just for the records. Yes, he was hosted by government and provided with a vehicle, and the required security arrangement were placed for him. So these were two matters I wanted to just bring to the attention of the Commission. Thank you.
But how was his presence here in the Gambia? He's from Guinea-Bissau. How was that helping the peace process in Guinea-Bissau? It was the Gambia connection.
Lala jote a Gambia ñewambi fi naka la wara dimbalem pour jama mëna sax wala jama mëna am bir Guinea-Bissau.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And dating back to even 1998, if you will recall, the Gambia has been involved in mediation rules in Guinea-Bissau.
Chairman, depuis 1998, Gambia mu ngi doon di jëm pour joxe ndimbal pour nit jama waré am bir Guinea-Bissau.
So around 2008, 9, especially 9.
At 2008 to 2009, surtout ci at 2009.
The situation in Bissau was volatile. And Bubu's present at that time was perceived or seen to be with a potential to affect.
Munna ne kambir mo xamne
I don't want to call it a spoiler's presence in the process, but he was, hence his, would I call it extraction or invitation or being invited to the Gambia.
Muna wax ne pour mu nekk foofu dafa yàq mbir mi waaye nag pour mu jógee foofu daal moo gënoon moo tax ñu jox ko yoon pour moom mu gën a fa mu ñëw nekk fii.
So that's what I wanted to just say.
Loolu laa si bëgg na wax.
Coming to the question on the table.
ñu ñëw ci laajte bi nga xam ne moo nekk ci kaw table bi.
So can I proceed, I think?
Ndax mun naa continuer.
Okay, I thought you were.
Let me. The General Bubu case.
Yes, sir.
It wasn't as straightforward as you put it, was it?
General Bubu ñëwam bi fii jubut comme yow niñ ko nekk di waxee.
The General Bubu case is not as straightforward as you put it. Li ma wax ci loolu mooy mbiri General Bubu yombeewut noonu rek jubeewut noonu rek comme ni nga ko waxee. Wasn't there an attempt to secure his transfer to Angola?
Ndax da ngeen pare woon pour yóbbu ko mu dem si dëkk bu ñoo wax Angola.
Wasn't there an effort
def leen ay jéego
by the NIA
yéen NIA
and the SAE
ak SAE
to transfer him to Angola?
pour ngeen
For
tobal
him
ko
to answer to charges in Angola?
mu dem Angola mu dem uyu tuumal yi nga xamante loolu lañ ko teg.
Not one I'm aware of in that regard.
Boobu de yëguma ko.
But you were in the thick of negotiations.
waaye bokkoon nga si ñu doon waxtaan mbir mi.
Well, not in that regard.
Nekkutoon ci mbir moomu pour génne ko fi yóbbu ko.
But wasn't there an interest
ndax amu leen li nga xamal moo leen si itteel
on the part of the government of Angola
si lu dem si nguuri Angola bi
to transfer custody of Bubu to them?
pour ngeen jël Bubu toxal ko mu dem nekk si loxo nguuri Angola bi.
Not that I'm aware of transfer.
Interest.
Yes.
Let's stop mincing words. Let's
ñu
stop
bare di jaxase.
playing with the semantics. You know exactly what I am saying.
yow xam nga man lu ma nekk di wax.
Mr. Chair, I would really, I mean, on this particular one, I'm saying it as
I don't want to bring into the fore the entire rendition program that the NIA was involved in.
Buguma ici programme bi yeb nam demone li NIA don di doxal ci mbir momu.
You know, Chimbiri rendition program, that is either the bringing of suspects to Gambia or suspects being apprehended from Gambia and transferred to foreign intelligence services, or the allow of foreign intelligence services to use facilities. I don't want to go into all that, but you know exactly what I'm saying, that the Bubu case was not as straightforward as you put it. It was a whole lot more complex, including the possibility of sending him to Angola or handing him over to Angolan territories, and in as much as you try not to have any knowledge of that, you were in the thick of those negotiations, including a trip to Angola.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chair, for bringing up the Angola.
I am not the chairman. I feel gray hairs and a whole lot more experience.
I think if you will my visit to Angola was part of a continental conference.
Madam Angola bobu benen bir la pour dajé bu mag.
That was in 2009.
Bobu ati 2009 lawon.
And that was part of an annual intelligence services conference.
Te lolu dajé la bo xamné at bu nekk bunta yi nga xamné ñoy liggéey bunti karange secret ci seen réew ñooñu at bu nekk ndaje biñ dee def ndaje boobu laa demoon.
Bringing up the Bubu case
pour dugga ci mbiri Bubu bi
was just to highlight on
pour wane rek ne
why he was first and foremost in the Gambia.
li tax mu ñëwoon nekk fii biir Gambia.
I think we've gone beyond.
Okay.
The issue is
your
suggestion of lack of knowledge, complete lack of knowledge. When you were in the thick of the negotiation. And it shocks me that you could feign lack of complete knowledge when it was very clear that even in the trip to Angola, you held negotiations which were aimed at potentially transferring Bubu to Angola.
So gisee nga don def waxtaan boobu noonu pour loolu mun na dimbale ñu ñoo mun a delloo Bubu Angola.
Mr. Sowe, don't underestimate our level of knowledge.
Yow Mr. Sowe bul xeeb de ñun suñ xam-xam bi de.
And I don't for a minute doubt the knowledge and the information. But I just want to say my trip to Angola was as part of a continental annual conference that the intelligence services host. And for this year, it was hosted by the Angolan service. And as DES, I accompanied.
How do you call it? Is it SICA?
CISA, the continent, the Community of Intelligence and Security Services of Africa.
So we know all that. But along the margins, arrangements were made for the potential move or handover.
Maybe I need to research that. But again, I know
where did you participate in those negotiations?
Well,
if you deny it, I'll bring evidence to show that you were in the thick of it. So now is your opportunity.
No, I'm not denying it.
Well, you said you just told the commission that you had no clue. You had no knowledge of this.
In Angola.
Dear Angola.
I think if you allow me.
I think now you are jumping from pillar to post, trying to dodge every bullet. But the fact of the matter is, you are now flat-footed. You were involved in these negotiations and you were aware of what was going on. So in spite of what you said before, this is a clear case of you being involved in those negotiations. No amount of pretension that you were not aware of any such negotiations would change the fact. You were involved in those negotiations, true or false?
You were
involved
in those negotiations. Stop the interpretation, it's just repetitive. You were involved in those negotiations, true or false?
In where? At where?
In both Angola and in Banjo.
Well, I know we were in discussion.
Well, now you know.
I'm recollecting.
No, now you know.
I'm recollecting.
And 2 minutes ago you did not know at all. No such negotiations took place.
I think if the Angola one is the one I'm trying to recollect. in Gambia, certainly we did receive a delegation around the subject.
No, you received a delegation on the subject, not around the subject.
Well,
you are trivializing it. We are telling you that the main purpose for coming here was to secure the transfer of General Bubu to Angola. Well, that's the truth.
I am recollecting now. I mean, in retrospect, but again, I wouldn't argue these as that negotiations didn't happen around. Or
well, you told the commission that you did not know anything about that. And then you said that you know you weren't speaking the whole truth. Let's call a spade a spade.
I think if you allow me, Mr. Lead Counsel, the reflections are coming back. I mean, because
they come in drips and drapes.
Yeah, they do. I mean, you know, the reflections as they come. Now it's starting to fall into peace.
These are not reflections. These are calibration of the truth. How you are going to deliver it. You deliver a little bit, you are caught here, you deliver more, you are caught there, you deliver more, until it all comes out. But I'm telling you, you could have saved us all this trouble by just answering the question yes in the first place. You agree?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Thank you very much. And for what is to follow, speak the naked plain truth.
Thank you, Mr. Lead Counsel.
Thank you very much. And now tell us about the machine, the talk-through machine. Now you can resume the interpretation.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Lead Counsel.
Mr. Lead Counsel.
The talk-through machine
talk-through
was a machine at the NIA.
Machine la bu nekkoon NIA.
What was it used for?
Lan lañ dee jëfandikoo ak machine boobu.
It was said to be used in investigation processes.
Said to be used.
Mr.
Sowe, we're listening to every word you utter. And we are paying attention to the nuances. Even the cadences, we're listening. We're paying great attention. And we can avoid all the rigmarole back and forth if you just go straight to the naked truth, instead of casting things in a way that would make you far removed from the issues. I don't think that would help these proceedings.
It wouldn't help.
Yes. So let's just call the spade instead of calling it by other different names. This was a machine that was used to torture people. Not a machine that was said to be used to torture people. There's a fundamental difference between the two. And you know it. Am I right?
Know about
the differences
between
what is and what ought to be, or what is and what is said to be. There are fundamental differences between those two, isn't it?
Yes, I think if
so to guide these proceedings, tell us what is, tell us the actuals, and don't tell us what is perceived, or what is thought, or what is hoped, or what is said. Let's toj yax bi. And get on with it.
I think.
Sorry, Essa. Haraman ma wax ko ci wala. Ñi ngay tafali rek di jaar fii di jaar fële. Mbir mi nañ ko ooyee lim doon. Nañ toj yax bi. Di ñu wax ne nee nañ nii la, oo yaakaar nañ ne nii la, oo foog nañ ne nii la, loolu taxut ñu nekk fi. Li tax ñu nekk fi mooy lii lañ ko daan jëfee, lii nii la tudda, lii lañ ñu daan defal. Ñu wax mbir mi jaar ca digga ba, wax li xew moo gën ñuy jaar fii di ko rafetal di ko ñab-ñabal, loolu tax ñu fee toog.
Thank you, Mr. Counsel. I think
Counsel.
I'm starting an explanation.
In direct terms.
Well, I'll come to the direct terms if you permit me. The torture machine.
I underline that. The torture machine. Thank you very much. Proceed.
The torture machine, the talk-through machine, the torture machine. Was a machine I heard of.
Did you see it?
I'm coming.
Machine.
Just kindly permit me to proceed. Yes, I saw it. So I'm coming to. I think if you allow me, I'll give you, okay. Initially, for many years being in the service, I heard about the torture machine. Until 2003.
2003.
I didn't set an eye on the machine.
For 12 years.
Yeah. Yes.
For 12 years, yes. You did not see the machine.
Yes.
Which had acquired legendary status.
Yes, I didn't see it until when I took over as officer commanding investigations. I saw what now I come to know. It is
I saw what I now come to know.
Yes.
You know, that is not a statement of fact.
Well, I didn't see it then, so I couldn't know it. Now that I've seen it physically.
Mr. Sowe, you are not seeing it now. You saw it then. As at the time you claim to have first seen it, you had assumed responsibility as head of investigation.
Yes, 2003.
So as at 2003, you knew this was a torture machine. You are not knowing it now.
2003 machine
No, I think, Mr. Lead Counsel, if you allow me, I'm not denying knowledge of it now. I'm just explaining from hearing to establishing, seeing it now physically in 2003. Until then, I've never set an eye on it, and that's not unusual for people in the head office not to see what is in other offices. Because if you are not in that particular area where probably the machine is, then you may not. And it may not be just the machine. You may even be with your colleague in the headquarters. It could be for weeks. You may not have seen it because of the compartmentalization.
This is plausible deniability. No. What I mean is, why it is inconceivable that at your level for 12 years this machine would be there. They are using it. Torture was common. It was commonplace to use this machine, and for 12 years you did not see it. And you really want the commission to believe that? 12 years.
Yes, I want to say that I didn't see. I never saw until 2003 when I set eyes on this talk-through torture machine.
2003.
Do you recall when the commission first visited the NIA?
I do.
Well,
I do.
Do you remember that on that day you told the commission that there were no tortures at the NIA? During your time? Do you recall?
Very well.
That statement was not true.
Well, witness torture was what I would have understood it to be.
Well,
again, if
Mr. Sowe,
Mr. Chairman,
we have
Mr. Lead Counsel,
we have the tapes, and the commission would go back and look it up. don't dig yourself a hole where the commission will start to view you differently.
Bul gas pax bul tax commission bi ñu gisee la ci beneen anam.
You have appeared quite honest.
yaa ngi ñëw fii nuroo ki nga xamante ne ku jub la.
You are accepting facts.
yaa ngi nangu li nga xamante moo doon xew.
Even very difficult ones.
su fekkee ak ñi nga xamante sax ñoo gën a métti sax yaa ngi koy nangu.
But don't change the perception that the commission would have of you.
Comme waaye bul wecci li nga xamante ne noonu la commission bi téye.
Don't try to be a fish to slip through, because it would not be helpful in this circumstance.
Bul def ay jéego pour di nobu loolu di la dimbale si dara.
On that occasion,
si loolu.
you said there were no tortures at the NIA. You were not aware of any.
nga ne duñ dee bugal wala métital kenn foofu noonu si NIA bi te su amee tam yow yëguloo ko.
That's what we said. But quite clearly that position of yours has evolved.
waaye léegi da ngaa gis ne yow fi nga nekkoon noonu lu sa maxama bi loolu dafa wécceeku.
la nga waxoon noona wécceeku na ba fi mu nekk d'accord nga ne mbugal nit am na lu fa daan xew la lu du jeex lu bari soo jógee nga du fi daan xew te musuma koo yëg ba tey d'accord nga ne du fa daan jeex lu fa daan am la saa su ne. You agree with that?
You
agree with that?
Agreed. Wow. Yes.
So let's put that aside.
So
as that, so when you told us during that visit that there were no tortures at the NIA, you were not aware of any tortures at the NIA, that statement could not have been true. You agree with that?
I think it's a comment. It's a statement that I made. And if I'm allowed to explain, I want to say.
But it could only be true. And you know, you've just accepted that your position has evolved. So your position could not have evolved if that statement was true, except if you want to tell us that you are not speaking the truth now.
I'm speaking the truth, and if you allow me to explain.
Well, you could not have been speaking the truth then.
Well, I think I was speaking the truth as I understood it then.
Now, are you suggesting that the truth has changed?
Well, it's evolved. The scope of knowledge about the truth, about the torture, have become more established.
Let's explore that. Like I said, it would not give me pleasure to discredit you. But you're inviting me. You only got to know about the Kabu case recently? Hey.
Sorry.
That he was tortured, brutalized in the most inhumane way, as you described it. You only got to know that now?
I think, Mr. Chair.
Just answer the question. Did you get to know that now?
I knew that since.
Okay, so when I asked you this question, last year when we visited the NIA, you did not know about the torture of Cabo?
I knew.
Why did you tell us that there were no tortures at the NIA? That they don't torture people there?
And that's why, if you kindly allow me, my understanding, and that's I think what I wanted to say, Mr. Lead Counsel, was that if it happened, even though, because I was between awareness and witnessing.
digante ñaari yëf la nekk.
If you will permit
But
me,
even at that,
if you will permit me, Mr. Lead Counsel,
proceed, please.
I think we can proceed on this matter.
Mën nañoo continuer ci mbir mi.
That torture
ne métital nit
did take place.
Amna.
If you in the visit have said otherwise,
Si fekkee ne wax naa leen leneen bi ngeen fa ñëwee woon.
I wish to now state on the oath
Léegi ma ngi wax comme que waat naa.
that with now the level of knowledge and understanding,
Léegi xam-xam bi ma ci am ak ni ma ko yëgee léegi.
and what I know to be,
ak li ma xam li xew.
I wish to state,
Bugga naa wax ne.
in place of the earlier statement,
pour wax beneen kaddu boo xam ne dama ko delloo ci kaddu bu njëkk bi.
during the visit,
bu ngeen fa ñëwee woon.
we take my today's statement in place of that statement.
ngeen jël suma kaddu bi ma wax tey ngeen bàyyi ba ma waxoon keroog.
I am sorry. With all due respect, I'm not prepared to settle for that.
Okay?
dama laa wax dëgg bi de waaye man duma mën a def loolu.
It's an oversimplification of the issue.
dafa noonu da nga bëgg a yombal mbir mi rek.
And you want to bury the issue in the dust, and we have to dissect the situation and see it clearly for what it is. As at the time we spoke to you,
si jamono bi nga waxal nañu woon ak yow.
you had full knowledge
yow xam nga leer na la.
of the fact that the NIA was a torture center.
comme ne NIA béréb la bi nga xamante ne dañ fa dee métital nit ñi di leen fam
You
bugal.
had that full knowledge.
yow xam nga loolu ba mu la leer.
Well, not full knowledge as I now know.
nekkul xam-xam bu óor ci man comme ni ma ko xamee léegi.
Okay, you want to tell us, okay, now you know about more cases.
Yes.
léegi da
yeah dëgg la.
But it does not change the fact that you knew fully well that torture was common.
waaye loolu du wecci dara ne comme yow xamoon nga ne dañ
Not on
bugal.
the scale at which now I know it.
comme léegi ni
if
ma
that
ko
will help.
xamee woon foog naa loolu moo mën a joxe ndimbal.
As at the time we spoke to you, you knew that torture was common at the NIA when you worked there.
yow si jamono bi nga waxoon nañu ak yow xamoon nga si waxtu boobu noonu leen comme NIA foofu dañ dee mbugal nit ñi dañ leen fa dee métital tamit.
Lead counsel,
if
you will permit me
in si soma balele
and play that video. Well, I think it will help me.
so génnee vidéo boobu foog naa dina ma dimbali.
It's not necessary.
ma ne loolu jaru ko de.
We're going to waste too much time.
dañoo jël waxtu bu bari si loolu.
The commission will take a look at it.
commission bi dinañ ko seet.
You understand? You knew what you said.
yow xam nga lan nga wax.
You clearly denied torture.
nga bañ na ne comme dañ dee mbugal foofu nit ñi.
I don't think I denied torture. From my understanding when I was speaking to you, I don't think I flatly, completely denied torture. I think my understanding then was, did I witness torture? I might have seen the results of torture.
You see, the problem here, Mr. Sowe,
jafe-jafe bi.
and with all due
moo nekk
respect,
Mr. Sowe.
is that you are not
Monica.
speaking in direct terms.
you
You always calibrate your language
da nga dee bàyyi xel bu baax sa
to
wax bi
distance
nga wax.
yourself from the issues.
pour génnee sa boppa wala solil sa boppa mbir yi.
I might have,
mun naa nekk ne wala
instead of saying that I have seen the results of torture,
wala nga war a wax ne gis naa fuñ
but you are
bugalee.
telling us that I might have.
Nga ne
You
mun
are
naa
just
am.
creating realms of possibilities.
da ngay wane ne comme yooyu mun naa am.
If you look at your statement,
soo xoolee sa kàddu bi.
through your testimony,
si li nga wax
all might have,
da nga dee wax ne rek
possibly,
mun naa am
looks like,
dafa mel ni
was said,
Dañ
you
ko
just
wax.
throwing, bandying around those
ngay wax rek
words
di wóoree ak kàddu yooyu noonu
to avoid
pour nga mun a daw
saying
wax ne
that you have directly seen this,
yow comme yow gis nga lii ak sa bët
or X person directly did this,
wala kii diw def na lii
because you are being economical with the truth.
ngir bëgguloo feeñal digga bi.
You are speaking the truth,
yaa ngi wax dëgg bi de.
but in little doses.
waaye yaa ngi koy génnee ndànka.
We don't need that.
soxlawuñ loolu.
We want the honest truth.
dañ bëgg a dëgg bi.
100% truth.
yépp mu doon dëgg.
Not economical.
nekkul ne di wax dëgg bi ndànk.
Mr.
Did you see
ndax yow gis nga.
the direct effects of torture on victims at the NIA?
ñi nga xamante ne ñu ngi leen doon bëggal ak ñi nga xamante ne ñu ngi leen doon bëggal foofu si NIA bi.
Direct.
It's tough. We know. It's
nañ ne neexut de dafa métti.
tough.
dafa métti trop.
Buying time.
yaa ngi jël sa waxtu.
The engine is working.
sa machine bi mu ngi liggéey.
It just shows
loolu mu ngi wane ne.
that you're being economical with the truth. And
bëgguloo
I
feeñal
want
dëgg
to
bi yëpp.
spare you that. I will roll the red carpet. Walk on the red carpet and tell us this spade is the spade. There was rampant torture at the NIA. You accepted that. But I am telling you that that knowledge did not come to you now. This is a knowledge you had a long time ago.
comme dañ dee mbugal nit ñi NIA.
And
na yow léegi nii nga ko xam.
You would
da nga ko
spare
xamoon
us
bu yàgg.
any further discussion of this if you just answer honestly that that is the truth.
soo tontee laajte bii ne rek suñ jub loolu dinañu dimbale.
Mr. Lead Counsel, thank you. I think
jërëjëf Lead Counsel foog naa ne
we are more in agreement than disagreement.
foog naa déggoo nañ mi.
I've already said in the morning that torture did happen.
waxoon naa ci suba ne métital am na fa.
And you knew about this all along.
yow lii xamoon nga ko si waxtu boobu noonu la yëpp.
That torture was common.
Yes, it was happening.
waaw comme mu fa doon xew.
waaw yes.
Good, thank you very much.
jërëjëf.
So we can move on.
léegi ñu
Thank you.
continue.
jërëjëf.
So that talk-through machine you were telling us,
machine bi nga xamante ne moom lañ dee jël pour def ko pour nit yi wax.
it was not only in 2003
nekkul ne rek si atum 2003 la woon.
that you knew that it was being used to torture people.
comme si jamono boobu nga xam ne dañ ko doon jëfandikoo di toroxal nit ñi. di
You
leen
knew
bugal.
all along that
Yo.
it was being used to torture people.
yoo xamoon nga rek si waxtu boobu noonu la yëpp comme dañ ko doon jëfandikoo pour di métital ak mbugal nit ñi.
You agree with that?
yow nangu nga loolu.
Well, if
you've started again.
no, please. Mr. Lead Counsel, I'm just being, if witnessing where it was used on people for torture purposes, I may say no, I've not. If awareness of it, that it's use, it's present in the agency, yes.
pour wax ne ma teew wala fekkee fi ñu toroxal nit ñi wala fu ñu métital nit ñi ak machine bi boobu pour xam pour ma teew foofu boobu laa wax ne yëguma nekkuma fa waaye pour am xam-xam bi ne machine bi am na foofu waaw boobu dëgg la.
He didn't stop at that. Ak ne dañ ko fa daan jëfee di ci toroxalee nit ñi loolu xamoon nga ko. That's what you said, correct?
Déggoon naa ko. maa ko doon dégg.
It's not déggoon nga ko. xamoon nga ko. yëgoon nga ko.
waaye fekkeewu ma ko.
bu la dee because the thing is, the important thing here is knowledge.
lu gën a am solo fii mu nekk ndax xam nga ko. xam-xam bi.
xamoon naa ne am na. Well,
I knew that it was there.
it was present.
It was there.
And not only was it present,
and not seen.
Hear me out. Not only was it present,
nekkul ne rek mu ngi nekkoon foofu rek
it
de.
was used actively.
dañ ko doon jëfandikoo bu baax.
ne xamoon naa loolu.
Yes.
well déggoon naa ne ñu ngi ko use. waaye gisuma ko.
It was being used.
ba nga ko déggee si nga ko xam.
I didn't see it.
waaw bi ma déggee ne am na si laa ko foofu la suma xam-xam doore about the machine.
When I heard that it was there and being used.
Sorry, we are speaking Wolof now.
Let's make some progress.
Thank you, Mr. Council.
Let's make some progress. What did you do with the machine when it was officially handed over to you as one of your tools to investigate?
Léegi lan nga jëfandikoo ak machine boobu jamono bi nga xam ne ñu leen jël liggéey jox nañ leen machine boobu noonu pour ngeen jëfandikoo ko.
I wouldn't remember whether it was handed.
Did you say again?
I said I never used it in my period at Invest.
I found it there
at the Invest complex.
And
if I may just take back just a little to just say I could have had not seen the machine for almost 12 years. It was because for all these 12 years where I was, I hardly go out in the analysis unit. So mostly when
Barrow would not agree with that.
Well, he wouldn't.
Please proceed.
He wouldn't. But again, going back to Ibrahim Barrow, as I said earlier, I wish to just state that I was not at that. But I'm sure your investigations will lead to that to establish whether I was or wasn't. So while at the Invest for 8 months, I didn't remember at any point using the machine during the course of my duty.
Do you rule it out completely?
Well, I've not used it.
Did your unit, your department, did it use it at all?
I don't remember.
So in fact, you are hiding behind I don't remember.
Mr. Lead Counsel, if there is any case,
I cannot remember.
But you don't rule it out.
Why?
I think I rule it out.
So you are conclusively telling this commission that it was never used during your time in Invest by the investigations department.
I don't remember using it, instructing staff to use it to obtain.
Now we are sitting post.
Well, if you will help
Mr. Witness, there are different rubrics for responsibility. There are different bases for responsibility. The one you just ruled out is ordering. All right? That's the only one you have ruled out, that you did not order that it be used. But your responsibility would also kick in, even if you have knowledge that it was being used.
I will take responsibility. If it happened with my instructions. If it did happen during that period without my instruction, and it's established that it was used by staff under me at this period, I would accept responsibility and apologize for that. But I don't remember. I think really. This is a period, if you will allow me to
Witness, I don't have any evidence suggesting that during your time at Invest,
wane ne si jamono bi nga nekkoon si wàllu gestu bi
that machine was used.
ñu doon jëfandikoo ak machine boobu.
I have no such evidence.
man awma seede bu dem si loolu.
I also have no evidence
te awma tam seede si kaw ne
that you have ordered torture.
waaw joxe nga ndigal pour ñu métital wala mbugal nit foofu.
If I had such evidence, I would have served you with a notice of advance.
su fekkee ne jot naa seede yu mel noonu ni ko naa la yónnee kayit bu la buy wane ne comme am na ku wax sa tur.
The issue here
waaye mbir mi fii mooy
is up to the time you took over at Invest.
si jamono bi nga xamante ne si nga door liggéey foofu si wàllum gestu bi.
Torture was ongoing.
ñu doon mbugal nit yi loolu mu ngi doon continuer.
You saw the machine.
yow gis nga machine bi.
It was handed over to your unit.
ñu ngi ko jox si mbootaay bi ngay liggéey.
My question simply was,
suma laajte bi bu yomba bi mooy woon ne
what did you do with the machine?
lan ngeen doon jëfandikoo ak machine boobu.
Nothing with the machine.
defewuñ ko dara.
Did you keep it?
da ngeen ko denca.
It was in the stores.
ci magasin bi la nekkoon.
Did you hand it over after you left?
ndax joxe nga ko bi si jamono bi nga xamante yaa ngi fa doon génn.
It could be, but I don't fully remember. It could be, but I don't fully remember.
When you took over recently as DG, did you inherit any such torture gadgets?
yow bi ñu la jëlee bi nga demee doon ak nekk léegi njiit li foofu ndax mus ngaa gis dara li nga xamante ne dañ ko dee jëfandikoo pour bugal nit ñi.
No, Mr. Lead Counsel, I didn't inherit or take over any such instrument.
déedéet mais lead counsel.
If I wish to also say,
doonuma wala jëluma wala joxuñma façon jëfandu yooyu.
God knows I didn't see that machine since I left investigations in 2004.
bi ma jógee ci
I didn't set an eye on it.
depuis 2004 teguma ko but.
We received information that when you took over recently, you in fact
yow dégg nañ
took over a more sophisticated electrocution machine than the previous ancient talk-through machine that was used to operate by winding.
dégg nañ ne jot na machine bu beneen machine boo xam ne moo gënoon a garaaw machine bu njëkk bi nga xam ne moom la gaay doon di jëfoo di téye nit ñi di leen maas ak courant.
Yes, Lead Counsel.
No, I'm waiting for an answer.
No, I didn't take over any such machine.
In fact, the evidence we received is that you destroyed the machine because you wanted to conceal evidence of tortures that were ongoing at the NIA.
xibaar yi fi jot sax moo nekk ne machine yooyu yow da nga koy yàqa pour mun a nuba mbugal yi nga xamante ne loolu lañ doon def nit ñi foofu si NIA bi.
We have to put it to you, Mr.
Dañ ko am
Witness,
def ko si yoon
in all fairness, so that
si
you
dëgga
can
dëgga
respond.
pour nga mën a tontu.
No, I didn't take over any such instruments.
man doonuma benn machine bu mel noonu.
Were you told of this machine when you took over?
ndax bi nga jëlee bi nga ñuy nekk njiit li ndax wax nañ la dara si mbiri machine boobu.
Not at all.
déedéet.
You are under oath.
yaa ngi waat de.
Very much under oath.
dëgg waat na.
You did not receive any more sophisticated talk-through machine, electrocution machine.
Not at all.
loolu amut.
Never.
musuta am.
Did you destroy any such equipment?
ndax bagage yu mel noonu ndax yàqa nga si benn.
Never.
déedéet musuta am.
Did you take any steps to cover up the tortures that were taking place at the NIA?
ndax jël nga benn jéego pour nuba mbugal yi ak métit yi nga xamante ne moo doon xew foofu si NIA bi.
No.
déedéet.
When you took over, there was a torture chamber at the NIA, true or false?
bi nga jamono bi nga xamante ne def nañ la njiit li am na bërëb bi nga xamante ne foofu dañ dee bëggal foofu nit ñi di leen méttital ndax loolu
dañ
dëgg
amoon béréb boo xam ne dañ ko defar rek pour mbugal nit ñuy ko ooyee torture chamber. Is that true or false? There was a torture chamber at the NIA when you took over. True or false?
true
dëgg la.
Can you describe the torture chamber as you found it?
yow ndax mun ngaa wax bërëb boobu naka la mel su bi nga ñëwee rek fekk ko foofu noonu.
It was a room
néeg la woon.
with an iron bed
mu am lal boo xam ne wëñ la.
with run.
How was the iron bed placed in the room? Was it fastened on the floor or was it just placed on the floor?
lal boobu noonu naka la duggee woon si biir foofu noonu te biñ ko fa dugalee la dañ ko teg
naka la meloon si room
naka la fa nekkee dañ ko tabax dañ ko saxal ci dar bi ci floor bi ndax dañ ko teg rek ci néeg bi noonu.
And got that. It was fastened.
So it was fixed firmly.
Firmly fixed.
dañ ko tabax ba mu dëgër.
So it can't move.
nga gis ne du mun a yëngatu.
No, it can't.
déedéet du dee mën a yëngatu.
Tell us about the color of the paint in the room.
wax ñu couleur bi nga xamante ne moom lañ couleur si biir néeg boobu noonu.
It was reddish. I think it was red oxide.
dañ ko peinture mu xonxa.
It was not reddish, it was red. There's a difference between reddish
Okay,
and red.
it was red.
xonq la.
waaw peinture bu xonxa la. peinture bu xonxa la.
Signaling danger.
loolu moo wane ne lu bon.
Signaling danger means lu raglu. Correct?
dëgg la.
It also had circles.
mu ngi amee ay ceene.
boobu tam dëgg la.
We have had witnesses who come here
am nañ fi ay seede ñu fi ñëw.
to say that when they were being tortured in that torture chamber,
suñ leen dee mbugal si bërëb bi mbugaleekaay boobu noonu.
they were placed on the iron table that was fastened on the floor.
dañ leen dee teg si taabul boobu noonu nga xamante ne ñu ngi ko tabax si kaw si foofu noonu si suuf.
Their hands and legs placed in circles.
loxo yi ak tànka yi yëpp ñu ngi ko ñu dugal ko si biir
Duñ ko ceene ci lal bi.
si lal bi.
And they are tied
léegi ñu takka ko.
by a belt
belta lañ
that
koy
was
jël
also affixed
mi nga xamante boo
to that bed
dañ ko posé foofu noonu si lal bi.
and beaten mercilessly.
dóor yi ñu laa dóor yi métti sax.
From what you have seen in that room,
yow li nga gis si biir néeg boobu.
would you say that those witnesses were truthful
ndax mun ngaa wax ne ndax seede yooyu wax loolu dañoo
about their description of what is contained in that room and how it was used?
comme lu ñu wax ne noonu la si biir néeg boobu mel ak lu ñu ko dee jëfandikoo.
Truthful.
dëgg la.
Truthful.
dëgg la.
And you knew fully well when you went to that room
te yow xam nga ne bi nga demee si biir néeg boobu noonu.
that this room was used for torture.
néeg bii nii dañ ko dee jëfandikoo di métital ak mbugal nit ñi foofu.
What did you do with it?
lan nga ko def.
Thank you, Mr. Lead Counsel, for bringing.
Listen to my question.
Yes.
The question is what? We will come to the why and the other things to follow. Now let's deal with the what.
Yes.
What did you do with it?
Thank you, Mr. Lead Counsel.
jërëjëf lead counsel.
I instructed
joxe naa kaddu.
that the bed
lal boobu.
be cut off.
ñu dog ko génnee ko fa.
The circles
ceenekaay yu fa nekkoon.
be removed
ñu génnee leen.
and kept.
ñu denca leen.
And the room
néeg bi moom ci boppam.
be painted
pour ñu peinture foofu.
white.
mu nekk lu weex.
By doing that,
waaw si nga defee loolu.
you are removing
yaa ngi génne
all the evidence
sedde yi
of the torture chamber?
Nga xamantene fofu len defar pour mbugal nit ñi.
Well,
So
I did that.
If you don't give me reasons yet, let's just talk about what was done. By removing that, you agree that you are removing all the evidence of torture.
I didn't see them then as evidence of torture.
waxtu bobu gisuma bagage yu ne jumtu way lañ pour toroxal nit ñi.
How did you know that that was the torture chamber?
When I took over
bima jëlé place bi
the service,
ci liggéey bi
I was on a tour of the complex.
dama wër bunti liggéey kay bi kër gi yépp dama ko wër.
Until when I reached that room, that department. I entered. I saw. What?
How did you feel when you saw what you saw?
Shocked. Very, very shocked.
And why were you shocked?
Because that was excessive. And it was purely.
And what made you think that this was excessive?
Seeing an iron bed. Plain iron bed. With circles. Clearly.
What did that tell you?
That was.
Yet you told the commission 2 seconds ago that you did not know that this was evidence of torture.
I said I didn't witness what I've seen the results of.
No, Mr. Witness. When you said that, I looked at the chair and he looked at me. And we were shocked by the answer you gave, that you did not know that this was used for torture. I said, okay, let me take you back 4 or 5 steps behind and start coming incrementally, just to show that you knew quite clearly that this was for torture. And that is why you removed it, because you were going to conceal the instruments of torture.
No, I was not concealing the instruments of torture, Mr.
You were removing the instruments of torture. You are removing the instruments of torture.
Yes, I removed the instruments of torture.
And you painted the torture chamber from what it was to something else.
Yes, I did.
You completely changed the character of that room from a torture chamber to a simple
normal office. Agreed.
You concealed.
Well,
you concealed the character of that room from a torture chamber to a simple office.
Well, that was not the motive. My reason for removing that was the shock and my deep disappointment that such instruments could in the first place be there.
I'm taking up my new... Just give me 1 second.
Please.
Housekeeping issues. Mr. Chair, we can finish in 40 minutes if he is disciplined and answer questions directly. So I want to invite you to allow us to finish in 40 minutes. But if you know that you're not going to answer directly, then we can adjourn now, do lunch and come back and continue until we finish. So your choice. I have 2 topics to deal with. If you want us to finish, we can. We can finish by 2:15 to 2:30. Your choice. So say 2:15 we can finish and people go for prayers. But your choice.
Chair, please proceed. We will proceed until we get the answers that we want.
Yeah.
Please go ahead and do that. And just one intervention on the point. When did you remove those elements in that room, and when did you make the change? Was it after we had already communicated to you that nothing should be tampered with, nothing should change, or was it before you got our communication?
This was far. This was just when I assumed office. Either in the first or second weeks. I only remember, but this was even far before anything like this was, like the TRRC was made mention of.
No.
If that's what you mean, okay. Mr. Chair.
It's the timing.
Yes, the timing.
That happened. Council, please continue.
Mr. Chair, this thing happened before we wrote to him and submitted that cease or desist letter. All right? It happened before.
Yes, long before.
Yes, but Mr. Sowe, when you did that, and you changed the character of the room, in fact, you did not stop there. You did not stop at changing the character of the room. You changed the character of a lot of places in the NRA, correct?
Yes, correct.
In fact, you awarded a number of contracts to rehabilitate and refurbish the NIA.
Correct.
Here is one contract with Jigo Construction. And this was 1st May 2017, 1st August 2017.
August 2017.
Give it to him. This is a second contract with Jigo Construction. On the 4th day of June 2018.
June 2018.
Correct. This is a third contract with Jigo Construction. On 16 November 2018.
November 2018.
A fourth contract with Jigo
Construction.
11 April 2019.
Correct.
A fifth contract with Jigo Construction. 11 November. 16 November 2018. I am losing count. Did I say fifth? The sixth contract with Jigo Construction. 16 November 2018.
November 2018.
Are they the same? Let me see. This one and this one. Okay. The sixth contract with Jigo Construction was for the main administrative building. That was 4th June 2018. And then this one, 7th contract with Jigo Construction. 16 November 2018.
November 2018.
8th contract with Jigo Construction. Security guard room. 14 November. Please pass it on to him. These are all contracts, 8 contracts you have signed with Jigo Construction. I won't ask any questions about that. But,
Council, hold on a second. 8 contracts on different tasks.
yes, with Jigo Construction.
Correct.
Wow.
This included changing the character of the notorious Bamba Dinka.
Ti bokana si bere buñ gëna xamé Bamba Dinka.
Correct?
No. If you will allow me to explain.
Please go ahead.
The Bamba Dinka building was rehabilitated, but the Bamba Dinka cell was preserved inside the building as it was found. So we didn't.
Why?
We didn't.
Why?
Luta
Well, for preservation reasons, at this time,
It's not, yeah, no, it's okay.
Okay,
It's
thank you,
okay.
thank you. What was inside the Bamba Dinka room
lu nekkon ci biir Bamba Dinka nek bobu non
as you found it?
comme ni ko féké won.
Mr. Lead Counsel, plain concrete.
There was nothing special about the room.
Amu dara li nga xamul
Nothing special apart from it being as a shell.
There were no circles in Bamba Dinka, correct?
There were no circles, Lead Counsel.
There was no torture bed in Bamba Dinka.
There was no torture bed.
Yet,
betay
you decided to preserve it.
nga baye ko non.
For what purpose?
Pour lan?
Well, I think when we started the rehabilitation, at this time the TRRC interest, we started to now feel or understand that the service would be, the service complex would be of interest to the TRRC commission, the TRR commission.
li waroon loolu mooy biñ commencé di liggéey place yi di wécci place yi nañ ba gis ne waxtu dina ñëw complexe bi mooy kër gi nga xam ne mooy këri NIA bi TRRC dinañ am ité pour ñu xam ñu gis place bi nam meloon loolu tax ñu bàyyi foofu comme nam meloon.
Mr. Witness,
Yes, Mr. Lead Counsel.
we were all in this country in 2016.
Mr. Witness ñu yeb ñu ngi won fi ci réew mi ci 2016.
Yeah.
One of the most significant campaign pledges of the coalition was that there would be a truth commission.
Coalition bi ci jamono bi nga xamante ñu ngi def seen campagne ñu gëna taxawal mo nekk ne dañoo taxawal commission
about the human rights violations that happened in this country
Mo
in
nekk ya-
the Jammeh era. Correct?
ak yele fi doomi adama yu xewon fi ci jamono Jammeh.
Correct.
Nguuri Jammeh. Ndax du lu
dëgg la.
And you were aware of
Yo,
that
xam nga ne-
campaign promise, weren't you?
yow yëg xam nga ne loolu waxoon nañ ko dëgle nañ ko woon
Correct?
ndax du loolu
You were aware of this campaign promise. True? I will move on, Mr. Chair, if you don't answer the question. When the new government took over,
bu nguur bu ees bi jëlee woon nguur gi ees
the most important thing they promised was that these rights violations
Liñ
would be
digle woon.
investigated.
moo nekk ne ñi nga xam ne yàqal nañ seen ak yelleef nañ ko gestu bu baax ndax du loolu
dëgg la.
Correct?
Correct.
dëgg la.
You knew fully well
yoo
that
xamoon
these rights violations would be investigated.
yoo xamoon nga ba mu la leer ne yaa ak yelleef yuñ def fii dinañ ko gestu bu baax
Correct.
dëgg la.
And you knew that the NIA was in fact at the center or would be at the center of these investigations.
yoo xam nga ne NIA ñoom ñooy nekk ñi nga xamante ñooñu la ñoo gën a gestu si seen mbir si wàllu gestu bu ñu waral na def
Correct.
dëgg la.
In fact, one of the most significant cases was the Solo Sandeng case. Correct?
Case bu gënoon am solo sa mo nekkoon case Solo Sandeng bi woon. Waaw.
And you knew that the Solo Sandeng case would not be left uninvestigated.
Yo xam nga ne
took over.
Solo Sandeng case xam bi duñ ko mën a bàyyee noonu si jamono bi nga xamante ne si nga doonaan pour nekk njiit li foofu noonu. Correct?
Dëgg la.
And you knew that that torture chamber was at the center of what was to be investigated.
Te yo xam nga ne période boobu noonu ñu defar ko pour di mbogal nit ñi boobu dina nekk période bi nga xamante ne dinañ def gëstu foofu bu baax.
I didn't know that.
Boobu xawma ko woon.
Well, Mr. Sowe,
Yow Mr. Sowe.
you can put it in any way possible,
Mun nga
any
koo
way you
def
want.
si anam bu mu la neexee yow.
But it is quite obvious.
waaye lii ñëpp xam nañ ko.
If you are going to investigate the NIA,
su fekkee ne yaa ngi war a gëstu si mbiri NIA.
you knew that that would be done. The NIA would be investigated.
yow xam nga ne NIA bi dinañ gëstu seen mbir di.
You knew that.
yow xamoon nga loolu.
100%.
100%.
You knew that.
Well,
Yes.
as a possibility.
Waaw. Mais mun naa am.
Mr. Sowe, let's stop playing games.
Mr. Sowe nañ bàyyi caaxaan bi.
Salute Council, with all respect to your seat, I'm not playing any games, and I would have stated it as
But Mr. Sowe,
it is.
but the thing is, every single person in this country who was aware of human rights violations in this country knew that the NIA was at the center of things and that the NIA would be investigated. You knew that. Don't reduce it to possibilities. This is a plain, naked fact. Everybody knew that the NIA would form part of this investigation.
ñëpp xam nañ ne NIA dinañ bokk si gëstu bi nga xamante ne loolu la ñoo def si wàllu ak yelleefi doomi aadama yu xewoon.
Mr. Lead Counsel,
I don't know, I really don't know how to put it.
xaw ma nu ma la ko mën a waxee waa.
But this is a naked fact.
waaye lii ñëpp xam nañ ko. ñëpp xam
That
nañ ne
the NIA would be investigated.
NIA bi dinañ leen gëstu seen mbir.
And you knew that.
yow xam nga si loolu.
but I didn't, in the context of the.
In any context, Mr.
No, okay,
Governor,
all right.
you knew the NIA would be investigated.
Well, I didn't know the NIA per se would be investigated.
Okay, you knew that the human rights violations committed at the NIA would be investigated.
waaye xam nga ne yaa ak yelleef yu ñu def doomi aadama yi si ñu def leen ko si NIA bi loolu dinañ ko gëstu.
You knew that.
Well, I didn't know early enough.
Teluma koo xam.
Look, you knew it was a campaign promise.
yow xam nga ne lii dañ ko wax si campagne bi ñu digle ko.
You knew that. You've said that here.
yow wax nga
You knew
loolu
it was a campaign
yow
promise.
wax nga ko fii nga ne dañ ko digle woon su buñ doon campagne.
Didn't you say that?
ndax yow wax loolu.
So you knew that this was promised to happen.
léegi yow xam nga ne dañ ko digle ne.
Waaw dëgg la xam naa ko.
When the new government took over, they said they were going to do this. It was one of the most important things for them.
te nguur bu ees bi bu ñu ñëwee loolu lañ wax ñu ne dinañ ko def.
So
moo gën a
how
am solo
can you
pour
sit
ñoom.
here and tell us
léegi
you did
naka
not
nga
know
mën a
that this
toog
was
fii
going to happen?
nga ne xamuloo ne lii dina la
What I'm saying is
Li ma wax mooy.
that the whole NIA
NIA yëpp.
from the complex
doore ko néeg bi kër gi.
to the processes as it now turns out to be.
doore ko kër gi ak lañ fa doon di def ni ñu ko doon di defee comme
Was
ni
going to be
feeñee léegi
investigated.
pour ne dinañ gëstu ci.
And I'm saying this, Mr. Lead Counsel, in the context of
moom ngay wax lii ci anam boo xam ne.
the renovations and the removal of that iron bed, which if you will allow me, as I said, I owned up to have removed it, but not to conceal evidence. For me, when I moved there and I said, this is not the way we're going to do business again in this service. Cut this. I don't want to see this again. Paint the house. And that was the reason why at that time I took that action.
mangi door liggéey bi ci ko anam boo xam ne mooy.
Not thinking, not knowing, not for one moment thinking that this would become a matter that will be interpreted as concealing of evidence.
Okay. Let's take it step by step.
nañ ko def ndànk-ndànk benn benn.
Like I said, it could be very easy
nu ma ko waxee woon dina mënoon a yomba be.
if we have a direct and straightforward admission.
ngay nangu wala di tontu li nga xamante ne loolu la laaj.
It's quite easy.
dafa yomba ba bëgg a dee.
If we don't have that,
su fekkee ne mënuñoo am loolu.
we would have to go around
dañoo wër
to find it,
pour ut ko.
and we will get it.
te dinañ ko am.
The only difference is it will take longer.
mooy nekk ne dafa yàgga rek.
When you saw that room, you said you were shocked.
Very shocked, Mr. Counsel.
You were shocked, not because here was a room, but you were shocked by the evidence of the instruments of torture.
Yes, I was.
And the government had promised that they would investigate all these tortures that were happening by the Jammeh government.
te nguur gi digle na ne nañ gëstu mbir yi nga xamante ne loolu moo doon xew si jamonoy Jammeh bu mu amee woon réew mi fii.
They said that, didn't you?
ndax waxuñ loolu.
wax nañ ko.
It was that government that appointed you to this lofty position.
ñoo la jox maxaama bi nga nekk nii.
Thank you, Mr. Counsel.
jërëjëf Mr. Counsel.
And here you are face to face with the instruments of torture that the government said they were going to investigate.
léegi yaa ngi nii jàkkaarloo ak bagage yi nga xamante ne ni nguur gi loolu lañ wax ne nañ ko gëstu.
Correct?
ndax du loolu.
Well, Mr. Lead Counsel, I didn't know then, as I know now, that that bed or that room was going to be an interest, so immense of an interest. I would have not touched it.
waxtu boobu xamuma woon ne néeg boobu ak bagage ya fa nekk yi ñu doon di jëfoo di métital nit ñi di toroxal nit ñi.
Honestly,
waxuma xawma woon ne
it was.
Mr. Sowe, you see,
see.
if you made a mistake
c'est Sowe gis nga boo juumee.
or you can accept that what you did was wrong,
dangaa nangu ne li nga def jaaduwut.
we move on.
ñu continuer.
But if you try to justify it,
waaye bu fekkee da nga ko bëgg a
you
wone
are
lu tax nga
in
def ko.
quicksand, Mr. Witness. The more you try to justify it, the deeper you go in.
bu fekkee ne yaa ngi bëgg a leeral lu tax nga def ko.
But let me put aside that comment, and I would ask my question.
léegi xaaral ma tegee loolu boor ma laaj.
If you will permit me,
No, let's do it the way you want. You are a law enforcement officer, correct?
Mr. Counsel, if you will.
Let's just answer the question.
Okay, please go on.
laajte bi.
You are a law enforcement officer.
yow lu waa nga nekk di doxal ndax du loolu.
Yes, I am.
You know about evidence,
Yo,
correct?
xam nga lu
You
dem
in
ci
fact
ay
headed
seede.
the investigation center of the NIA.
yow sa yaa jiite woon fu ñu xamal foofu lañ dee def gëstu yi si NIA foofu.
So you know about evidence,
yow kon xam nga lu dem si wàllu yëfi serde
correct?
ndax du.
Correct?
dëgg la.
And you know the rules
Te yow xam
about
nga.
preservation of evidence.
sarta yi nga xamante moo ëmba ni ñoo dencee serde yi.
Correct?
dëgg la.
And you knew when you entered that building that this was evidence of torture.
yow te yow bu nga bëgg duggee si
Or
biir
instruments
néeg boobu
of
noonu
torture.
xam nga ne yii ay bagages la yi nga xam moom lañ dee jël di métital nit ñi.
Instruments of torture.
Yes.
Instruments of torture.
And you knew it was your obligation to preserve that.
te yow xam nga ne sa aaxal la pour nga denc bagages yooyu noonu.
You knew you had an obligation to preserve that.
And correct?
dëgg la.
And in fact, the TRRC Act clearly says
TRC bi sax luwaa bu leen ëmba wax na ne
that concealment
di nobba
of evidence should
I
be
said that.
investigated by the TRRC.
loolu TRC war nañ koo gëstu
You agree with that?
ndax nangu nga ak loolu.
Agreed.
boobu nangu na.
And by changing the character of the room, you have in fact tampered with evidence.
léegi li nga wéy ci néeg boobu noonu dafa noonu nii léegi sedda yooyu noonu da nga ko yàqa.
Well, Mr. Lead Counsel, as I said, from a motive standpoint,
let's not talk about motive for now. Let's talk about the effect of your conduct. We will talk about motive later. When you decided to change the character of the room, you knew you were tampering with evidence.
I didn't know I was tampering with evidence. Mr. Sowe, I know it to be.
Mr. Sowe, it is not today that you know about tampering of evidence. It is not today that you have a master's degree in diplomacy. It is not today that you have a master's degree in security studies. Mr. Sowe, you are a seasoned and well-educated public servant in intelligence and diplomacy.
Mr. Sowe, you sir am nga xam-xam bu xarañ ci lu dem ci walu digante rew ak rew ak nguur nu muy doxé.
Even a 3 months trained recruit would know about tampering of evidence.
Ki nga xamantene ñu ko jël liggé es koku dina ci diiri ñetti wër koku dina xam lu ñuy oyé sédé yi nga xamantene sédé bu ñoo yaax.
Even such a person would not be forgiven for tampering with evidence.
Façon nit koku ko def lolu duñ ko jégal ci lu yaaxa sédé yoy non.
At the time of your appointment, you were one of the most qualified people in this country to lead the NIA.
Yow si jamono bi nga xamantene ñun la doon tana pour jox la liggéey NIA pour nga nekk fofu njit bokk nga si nit ñi nga xamantene am nañ xam-xam pour yore maxama bobu non.
Your appointment was not by chance.
Yow nekku na rek wursak mo la tek fofu nonu de.
You were eminently qualified.
Yow da nga mut nga dang ko yelo.
Don't reduce the degree of your qualification by telling us that you did not know some of the most basic issues in any investigation.
You
knew that by touching that place, so tampering with evidence.
No, Mr. Lead Counsel. If I now know, if I knew what I now know, I was
okay. You know that the paint was evidence of torture chamber, correct?
It was fear inspiring. It was fear inspiring.
So you changed that.
Yes.
So you have in fact changed that fear inspiring to calmness and normalcy.
Yes.
So you have in fact tampered with what was fear inspiring and transformed it to something that was normal and acceptable. Correct?
Yes.
So you have tampered with that evidence, correct?
I didn't see it as evidence then, Mr. Chair.
Well, you've said, you can't have it both ways. You can't say it is evidence and then you turn around and say it's not evidence.
No, what I'm saying, if you will kindly permit me, because I want to state and state clearly that I didn't do it with the motive.
You're talking about motive.
To tamper.
We are talking about what you have done and the effect of what we have done. We would come to motive later. But let's just accept what you have done and its effects. Let's clear that first before we go to motives. You have touched that paint. That paint was evidence of fear inspiring. As you said, you agree? So that was evidence. So you have now touched evidence. You agree?
What evidence?
You have touched the evidence.
yow laal nga serde bi
You have transformed the evidence.
wecci nga serde bi
I didn't see it as of any evidence then. For me, it was
But Mr. So, you said when you entered that room, you saw the paint and you knew this was fear-inspiring.
it was fear-inspiring.
So this is evidence of fear-inspiring.
It was.
Yes, and you knew that.
te yow xam nga si loolu
Amoon nga loolu.
Wa xamoon naa ne ku fi dugga di nga tiit.
Yes, but you decided to change that.
waaye nga ñëw wecci loolu
Waaw bañ ma ne change naa ko li ma wax mooy change ko pour hide evidence.
No, we are not talking about motives yet. Let's talk about what you did and its effect.
yow nañ waxtaanee li nga def ak lu mu indi nañ waxtaanee
Later we can talk about motive.
léegi mun nañoo wax lu
As
tax
far
nga
as
def
I'm concerned,
man pour man rek
I have no view as to whether it was done in bad faith, or it was indifferent, or it was done in good faith. I have no position on that. But let's just first describe it by what it is. Let's first accept that you knew that this was evidence. You decided to change its character. Let's first agree on those two limits.
nañ nangutoo ne yoo xam nga ne lii sedd la sedd bu wér la waaye ñëw nga wecci ko
Because man
nangutoo si loolu bépp
We agree that it was evidence.
ñu nangu nañ ne comme loolu sedd la
Well, it was a fear-inspiring, redly painted room.
néeg la boo xam ne dañ ko peinture pour tiital nit ñi.
And that captures evidence of fear-inspiring.
It does.
loolu dina dugal si nit ñi
dëgg la loolu
does.
am na dem na am na.
So you therefore agree that that was in fact evidence
léegi
of a particular state of affairs,
In that room.
fear-inspiring.
In that room.
ci biir néeg bi foofu.
Agreed.
So you agree with that?
nangu nga loolu
nangu na.
So by changing the color,
léegi boo weccee couleur bi
you have transformed
Look,
the
look,
nature
look.
of that evidence, correct?
wecci nga naka la sedd boobu noonu mel
Yes, it's changed.
waaw wecci naa ko.
You agree you changed it.
nangu nga ne danga ko wecci
Yes, I have.
So you
Legal.
have changed the evidence, the
evi-
character of the evidence.
Yes, it has changed by painting it red.
waaw pour li ma ko peinture
By
daal.
changing it white. So you have changed the character.
It's changed in that regard.
So you have obviously tampered with the evidence.
dafa noonu léegi jaxal nga sedd
You have obviously tampered with the evidence. You have touched it.
laal nga ko
You have done things to it to change the character of the evidence.
am na li nga si def ba mun a wecci sedd boobu noonu
You agree with that?
te nangu nga ak loolu
Well, Mr. Lead Counsel,
the lead counsel
It is generally tough in here.
it's understandable that it's also tough.
So and let's call this spade by its name.
dañ ooyee
You
peel bi nu mu
tampered
tudda rek
with the evidence.
yow da nga yaaxa sedd yi
If you want, I can take another route.
soo bëggee mën naa jël beneen yoon
Well, if it is also understood on my part that I didn't see it as
su fekkee ne man
evidence.
Well, the thing is, you could have seen the color red and you say it's yellow.
And it was red. It was red.
Exactly, and this was also tampering. Okay, let me take a different route. If you don't agree with this route, let me take a different
xaaral
route.
soo nangutee yoon bi xaaral ma jël beneen yoon
You did not preserve it. You agree.
yow denculoo
I didn't preserve it.
So you must have tampered with it.
kon léegi da nga ko yaaxa
Well,
I tell you, there are lots of routes.
I understand, but again, tampering with it was not what I meant
To do.
to do.
You just meant to change it.
da nga ko bëgg a wecci rek
So you meant to conceal it.
léegi da nga ko bëgg a di nëbba rek.
For me, this, it was not meant with an ill intent to paint the room.
But you still going to motive.
ba tey yaa ngi dem rek lu tax.
I haven't gone to motive yet.
daf ma dama ngomal ci loolu noonu.
I know you, it's all about self-preservation.
am na yëpp rek yaa ngi bëgg a.
It's all about how you are perceived.
comme yow naka lañ la gisee.
And I can understand that.
te loolu
You have an interest in how you are seen.
am nga bëgg nga ñu gisee la.
But let's just take the basic steps of what has actually happened.
nañ def benn pour xam lan moo xew.
You change the character of the room.
da nga wécci.
You removed the evidence in the room.
yow génne nga sedd yi nga xamante moo nekk si biir néeg boobu.
If by painting the room the evidence has been removed, yes, I did.
By cutting the circles, and by cutting the circles, the evidence has been removed.
ceene yi loolu yëpp wane na ne da nga yàq sedd yi.
And by removing the bed, the evidence has been removed.
waaw li nga génnee la
You agree with that?
Yes, I do.
nangu nga agul.
Well, that is the classic definition of tampering with evidence.
loolu lañ de ooyee ne comme yaa ngi yàq ak sedd.
But you've changed the character.
wécci
Okay.
You agree
nangu nga.
I agree.
that you have tampered with the evidence.
yàq nga sedd yi.
Well, in that regard, I have removed the bed, painted the room, but with not in an intention to tamper with the evidence.
Well, you've tampered with the evidence. Period.
yàq nga sedd bi rek.
Whether it was for ill motives or for some other reason, we don't know. We
All
haven't
right.
come
If
there.
that's the premises, yes.
So you agree you have tampered with
Yes,
evidence?
I do. If that's the premises, I now understand it to be.
Yes. No. You knew at the time that you were tampering with the evidence.
I didn't-
Mr. Sowe, you headed NIA investigations. You headed NIA external relations. You were a permanent secretary. You are not a novice in the system. You are very seasoned. So you cannot hide behind, I did not know. That is for those recruits.
Certainly, I didn't, Mr. Lead Counsel.
If you want to put yourself in the position of recruits, yes, maybe your recruits should be laughing at you that, oh, our DG did not know that you cannot touch evidence.
No, well, as far as I'm concerned then, it was not evidence. For me,
Are you serious?
yes.
But you just told us
Yes.
10 times that this was evidence.
Now, from the discussions having followed the discussions, at the time for me, really, at the time for me, when I was doing this thing, I didn't for a second.
Are you suggesting that you are reckless?
da nga bëgg a wax ne da nga saaga noonu.
Put your mind to the nature and consequences of your action.
ëllëg lu moo jur.
I don't think I would say I was reckless.
Okay.
I don't think I was.
nga wax ne da nga saaga noonu.
Were you prudent?
I was. For me, I was doing it.
Okay, let me put it brutally, Mr. Sowe. You violated all the rules in the book.
yow luwaa yi nga xam ne loolu leen teg wala sarta yi yëpp nga yàq.
You violated all the rules in the book.
yëpp si luñ def si book bi yëpp
This
nga
is
yàq.
evidence of
Sedd la.
human rights
li
violation.
nga xamante ak yelleefi doomi adama yi leen yàq.
This was going to be the best proof,
lii dem dina nekk li nga xamante mun naa nekk sedde bu déggu
and you removed it.
nga génnee yëpp.
This is a blatant violation of all the rules in the book.
léegi lii lépp li nga def nii dafa mel ni
I did not want to put it that way,
bugguma ko waxee noonu de
but you had to push me.
waaye yaa ngi maa forcé pour ma def loolu.
But this is egregious.
waaye lii dafa ëpp loxo.
Well, thank you, Mr. Lead Counsel. And if you say so, I don't have any reason to.
You did not have to get there.
What I wish to say is truly, and I wish to say this. I wish to say this, that if I had known that this is what it will turned out to be,
su fekkee ne lii la muy mujjee nekka
I would not have touched that bed.
ma laa lal
Well, I feel sad to have to remind you that the ignorance of the law is no excuse. Especially for a person of your stature. You have reached the highest levels in our public service. Not once, not twice, not 3 times. And for over a decade. You can't be saying these things. You see, and I did not want us to get there. But for what it is, this was tampering with evidence. Pure and simple. You agree and then we move on.
Well, in the context, it's now explained.
But
And how I now understand it to be, yes, it is tampering of evidence.
Wow.
Well, it is now and it was then.
Pure
Pure and simple. Now let's talk about motive. You said, what was your motive for doing it? The evidence we have is that it was aimed at concealing the evidence. Mr. Chair, you were going to say something?
Mike.
To have a momentum to go tamper with our lunch, and without any fear, anything. So if you have a motive issue now, yes, you can pursue that, or we do that after lunch. How much time would you want on motive to do that? Tampering with lunch is a human right.
I'm not so much interested in motive, but motive is my route because that's the window he has opened. But I have 2 issues to deal with. They can be very short if he answers questions directly. If he doesn't, we'd have to take different routes to get to the answer. So that's why I always advise that he answers more directly. But I am still on this issue of concealment of evidence.
Well, but
So
do you want to
30
pursue
minutes
that?
I should finish, but
Do you want to pursue that now, or I mean,
what do you prefer, Mr. Sowe? Do you prefer that we proceed and finish, then you can go, or do you prefer that we go for lunch and come back?
no, he's in our hand. He's in our hands. on this one.
But-
You see, you and me would have to decide what
Yes.
you would want if you.
Well, I would prefer, Mr. Chair.
Do you
that
think,
we-
you would
that
need
we go
30 minutes?
Well, it's prayer time. I think it's more sensible that we just close now, have lunch and pray, then we come back. I think that is the most sensible thing to do under the circumstances.
But you would need 30 minutes after lunch,
Yes.
or a bit more than
A
that.
minimum of 30 minutes, but if he may stretch it to 2 hours, but I leave it to him to decide.
No, he's not going to do that. No. Okay, fine. So we go tamper with our lunch again, and make sure that we come back at 3 o'clock. Or, yeah, meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Say Canada, Switzerland, and the rest of the world, Supersonic's money transfer has got you covered. With the largest payout network in the Gambia, you can now receive your monies anywhere you are, from Kartong to Koina, with less hassle. Yes! You can receive monies from your family and friends in UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland, and the rest of the world with our safe, secure, fast, and convenient service that offers you the largest selection of payout locations in the Gambia. Supersonic's money transfer. We are currently in 34 African countries and counting, giving you quality money remittance services that are second to none. Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonics Money Transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services only with Supersonics. If you want to receive monies from UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland, and the rest of the world, Supersonic's money transfer has got you covered. With the largest payout network in the Gambia, you can now receive your monies anywhere you are, from Kartong to Koina, with less hassle. Yes! You can receive monies from your family and friends in UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland and the rest of the world with our safe, secure, fast and convenient service that offers you the largest selection of payout locations in the Gambia. Supersonics Money Transfer. We are currently in 34 African countries and counting, giving you quality money remittance services that are second to none. Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonics Money Transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services only with Supersonics. If you want to receive monies from UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland and the rest of the world, Supersonics Money Transfer has got you covered. With the largest payout network in the Gambia, you can now receive your monies anywhere you are from Kartong to Koina with less hassle. Yes! You can receive monies from your family and friends in UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland and the rest of the world with our safe, secure, fast and convenient service that offers you the largest selection of payout locations in the Gambia. Supersonics Money Transfer. We are currently in 34 African countries and counting, giving you quality money remittance services that are second to none. Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonics Money Transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services only with Supersonics. If you want to receive monies from UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland and the rest of the world, Supersonics Money Transfer has got you covered. With the largest payout network in the Gambia, you can now receive your monies anywhere you are from Kartong to Koina with less hassle. Yes! You can receive monies from your family and friends in UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland and the rest of the world with our safe, secure, fast and convenient service that offers you the largest selection of payout locations in the Gambia. Supersonics Money Transfer. We are currently in 34 African countries and counting, giving you quality money remittance services that are second to none. Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonics Money Transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services only with Supersonics. If you want to receive monies from UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland and the rest of the world, Supersonics Money Transfer has got you covered. With the largest payout network in the Gambia, you can now receive your monies anywhere you are from Kartong to Koina with less hassle. Yes! You can receive monies from your family and friends in UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland and the rest of the world with our safe, secure, fast and convenient service that offers you the largest selection of payout locations in the Gambia. Supersonics Money Transfer. We are currently in 34 African countries and counting, giving you quality money remittance services that are second to none. Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonics Money Transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services only with Supersonics. If you want to receive monies from UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland and the rest of the world, Supersonics Money Transfer has got you covered. With the largest payout network in the Gambia, you can now receive your monies anywhere you are from Kartong to Koina with less hassle. Yes! You can receive monies from your family and friends in UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland and the rest of the world with our safe, secure, fast and convenient service that offers you the largest selection of payout locations in the Gambia. Supersonics Money Transfer. We are currently in 34 African countries and counting, giving you quality money remittance services that are second to none. Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonics Money Transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services only with Supersonics. If you want to receive monies from UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland and the rest of the world, Supersonics Money Transfer has got you covered. With the largest payout network in the Gambia, you can now receive your monies anywhere you are from Kartong to Koina with less hassle. Yes! You can receive monies from your family and friends in UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland and the rest of the world with our safe, secure, fast and convenient service that offers you the largest selection of payout locations in the Gambia. Supersonics Money Transfer. We are currently in 34 African countries and counting, giving you quality money remittance services that are second to none. Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonics Money Transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services only with Supersonics.
Yenyun kora bemba minda kanake Gambia jang. Sato dao da itata jenkamo de kafo kora award. Ama kama ntenkuno bankoka. Iko banko nyaton ko minketa Adama Baruti anala numonyo first lady. Ye nyimben kere sika ya ditel la ka kenyaton ko Amadou Kora wo fanam bigele don ajaratu fatu sonko bakaw Kora mansa ni ajebe kumbola tumbun koto to salon ko dal ko lon lo sabu Kora manke bi fenti
baraka
ha
ko batar lo beon
mbeje ko dura anda mu be mele neti
he baba
dalba
aho moro
bari biba ma diari mbakel
konkoto murkoto le konkoto futo koto furkoto
muto nyaade man nin kolko sila koto wakata sate koto
prince ko yatale mamanta nan entertainment wala be bemba kala semega jane hori ka fo me Kora awo kala purata be korontoro kanne ala kanam fa janne woni
yenyun Kora bemba minda kanake Gambia jang sato dao da itata jenkamo de kafo Kora award amma kama ntenkuno bankoka iko banko nyaton ko minketa Adama Baruti anala numonyo first lady ye nyimben kere sika ya ditel la ka kenyaton ko Amadou Kora wo fanam bigele don ajaratu fatu sonko bakaw
Kora mansa
ni ajebe kumbola tumbun koto to salon ko dal ko lon lo sabu Kora manke bi fenti
baraka
ha
ko batar lo beon
mbeje ko dura anda mu be mele neti
he baba
dalba
aho moro
bari biba ma diari mbakel
konkoto